G'day and welcome back to Plugged In Australia on the 4th of February 2026. In today's episode we'll run through a stack of updates, bargain pricing on the EV5, Tesla's latest energy offering and subtle name shifts for the 3 and Y, reports of potential cancellation for electric Porsche sports cars, BMW bringing back the X1 plug-in hybrid, Kia's outlook on EV4 sedan sales, and much more. Let's get into it. Alright, starting off with some uncertainty from Porsche. Reports indicate the brand's new CEO is considering scrapping plans for fully electric versions of the 718 Boxster and Cayman. The report, potentially dubbed the 983 generation, has faced delays and cost overruns, missing its targeted late 2025 launch. Originally intended as a pure battery electric replacement after the petrol 718 models were discontinued in 2025 due to the new EU cybersecurity standards, the program is now under review amid broader spending curbs following expected sales downturns. Porsche has shifted focus somewhat, announcing additions of petrol and hybrid powertrains to other models like the 911 to meet emissions rules. The European Commission's recent scrapping of its 2035 ban on new petrol and diesel cars in December of 25 has added flexibility. Now, no specific specs for the electric 718 were detailed in recent updates, but earlier plans pointed to mid-mounted batteries for balanced handling, strong performance, and ranges competitive in the sports car segment. For Australia, the petrol 718 discontinuation already impacted availability, and any cancellation of the electric successors would leave a gap in Porsche's lower-end lineup here. Alright, keeping in the premium segments, BMW is bringing back the X1 plug-in hybrid for 2026, slotting into a reworked lineup arriving mid-year. The xDrive 25e variant is priced at $79,500 before on roads, combining a 1.5-litre turbo 3-cylinder petrol engine with an electric motor for total outputs of 180 kilowatts, 477 newton meters. Drive goes to all wheels via 7-speed dual clutch transmission. The battery is 14.2 kilowatt hour usable, delivering 78 to 86 kilometer of electric only range, WLTP, with combined fuel economy rated at 6.3 to 7.1 litres per 100 kilometres. The lineup sees some changes. They've discontinued the S-Drive 18i and the X-Drive 20i petrol models. A new S-Drive 20i entry at 66,700 with mild hybrid assistance. Updated iX1 X-Drive 30 electric at 86,800 with improved range to 514 kilometers WLTP thanks to silicon carbide inverters, and the M35i X-Drive Performance variant at 93,900 with power dialed back to 221 kilowatts and 400 newton meters for emissions compliance. The PHEV return adds a bridge option in BMW's compact SUV range for us Australian buyers wanting electrified efficiency with a petrol backup, if that's what you think you need. Alright, over to Kia, and it remains optimistic about its EV4 electric sedan sales in Australia, targeting around 70 units per month despite a slowing segment. That's not a very high target. The company describes this as a modest and achievable goal, emphasizing choice for customers who prefer sedans over SUVs. Priced sub 50 grand, the EV4 undercuts rivals like the Tesla Model Y, rather 3, by nearly $5,000 and sits above the BYD Seal. Built on a 400-volt eGMP platform shared with the EV3, it's front-wheel drive only at launch, with a hatch variant under consideration but delayed due to shipping and trade factors. The mid-size sedan category saw sharp declines in 2025, with the Tesla Model 3 down 61.3% and the BYD Seal 40.8%. But Kia sees opportunity in its positioning and realistic forecasting, leaning from understanding with other models like the Tasman Ute. All right, a little bit of a shift away from EVs into some solar news. Tesla has launched its newest energy product, a fully in-house designed and manufactured rooftop solar panel. Produced at their Buffalo factory in New York with over 300 megawatt annual capacity. It features an all-black, low-profile design without visible blue ribbons and streamlined mounting hardware eliminating traditional rails. The panel integrates seamlessly with Tesla's ecosystem, including vehicles, charging, storage, and a completely unified app for complete home energy management. Availability starts now in key markets, though no specific Australian rollout details have been announced yet. A new federal initiative backed by up to $60 million from the Clean Energy Finance Corporation partners with Hyundai Capital Australia to offer discounted interest rates on new fully electric Hyundai and Kia vehicles below the luxury car tax threshold. Eligible buyers get 0.5 to 1% off rates, translating to savings around $1,900 in interest based on a $70,000 loan over 5 years. That was announced by Minister Chris Bowen. The program targets households and small businesses to reduce barriers and cut transport emissions through more accessible financing on qualifying models. Alright, Audi has confirmed its first RS model with plug-in hybrid power. The RS5, available in liftback sport and wagon Avant bodies. It pairs a 2.9 litre twin-turbo V6 with electric assistance, expected to exceed the outgoing model's 331 kilowatt and 600 newton meters. Additionally, an entry-level electric hatch is in development based on Volkswagen's ID.3 underpinnings, with styling nods to the classic A2, positioned below the Q4 e-tron as Audi's most affordable EV, potentially to be badged as an A2 or Q2. Now, GWM has locked in pricing for the 2026 Tank 300 HI4-T PHEV. I don't know why they need to have these massive long names. Either way, it's been locked in at $55,990 drive away for Lux and $59,990 for Ultra, with a special launch until late February 2026, potential $2,000 rise after that. It combines a 2-litre petrol turbo with 120 kilowatt electric motor in a 9-speed auto for a total of 300 kilowatts and 750 newton meters of torque, surpassing many V8 rivals. The 37.1 kilowatt hour battery delivers up to 115 kilometers of electric range, and that's on the NED cycle, with 50 kilowatt fast charging. Think 30 to 80% in about 24 minutes. And 6 kilowatt vehicle to load output, which is pretty decent. Off-road features include a mechanical four-wheel drive, low-range transfer case, front and rear locking diffs, some different all-terrain modes, probably sand and snow, etc., and a 3-ton towing capacity. And while I'm not really a big fan of plug-in hybrids, if this is what sort of gets people through as a transition, I'm all for it. All right, we mentioned Jaguar on the episode yesterday, but some more news. Jaguar's upcoming electric sedan, it should be using a 120 kilowatt hour battery in 5 stacks. So you've got 19 kilowatt hours in the front, 4 25 kilowatt hours in the rear, for a low seating position and height under 1.1 meters. This setup targets around 400 miles of EPA range, which is America's version. On the JEA architecture, which is a 800 volt system, it will pack 3 motors, 2 in the rear, 1 in the front, for over 1,000 horsepower. Length should be in around the 5.2 meters. Now, that low driving position, all I can think about is I'll be able to get in, but I highly doubt I will be able to get back out again. All right, into some pricing news. Kia has slashed the EV5 pricing to clear some 2025 stock, with the entry-level Air Standard front-wheel drive at $49,990 drive away until late February 26, or I assume as until stocks last, as they say. This one uses a 64.2 kilowatt-hour LFP battery with a 400 kilometer WLTP range. Air long range front wheel drive will be at $59,990. Earth all wheel drive at $64,990. And the GT line all wheel drive $75,990. And these all have the 88.1 kilowatt hour batteries, except the entry level. The facelift arrives late in 2026 with suspension, steering overhaul for better ride, with a new Kia Connect infotainment, likely 27-inch screen, and some minor exterior tweaks like wheels and lighting, addressing early feedback on handling. And Volkswagen has aligned its ID.Buzz recommended retail price with previous drive-away offers, extending until April 26. The Pro short wheelbase 5-seater, $75,990. The Pro long wheelbase 7-seater, $80,990. And the GTX long wheelbase, $104,990. The cargo wheelbase will also be $69,990. And this follows strong response to earlier discounts. It would appear that the discounted price should have been the normal price all along. And lastly, we go to Tesla, and Tesla has renamed the Australian Model 3 and Y variants to include Premium for regular rear drive and long range models, aligning with the global naming. Prices and specs remain unchanged. And it has also been confirmed that cheaper standard variants, which give you reduced range and reduced features that are available elsewhere, are not coming to Australia and New Zealand, despite the competition from lower priced rivals. Not sure that's such a good idea, Tesla. Well, that's a wrap for episode 7 today. Plenty of news, plenty of deals, lineup shifts, future models. I really appreciate you joining us here this morning. If you'd like to subscribe or send us any feedback, info@pluggedinaustralia.com.au. I very much appreciate it all. And until next time, stay plugged in, stay charged. Ci vediamo.